get into some TakeOver madness right now. We have NXT TakeOver Vengeance. Will, you had just watched this show. I want to hear your thoughts on this before we get ending. What are your overall thoughts on the show?
I thought it was very good. I watched it yesterday afternoon. I honestly, because after I got home from dinner, I got home like probably right when the show started, give or take, maybe 10 minutes afterwards.
Okay.
And I forgot the show was on. To be honest, I completely forgot that Vengeance was happening. And like, next thing I know, it's like 11 o'clock, and I go on Instagram, and I see fucking a GIF of Adam Cole is kicking Finn Balor. I'm like, fuck, that was tonight. So
nice.
So I tried watching it, right? I went on the network Sunday night, like 11:30.
Yeah.
And it wasn't available. It wasn't like available to watch again.
Really? Or was it, I mean, did they, that's very weird.
Like, because usually after it's finished, you can just go back and watch it from the beginning. Or, you know, because it was scheduled to be on at like 1 a.m. So if you go to that, you can click on and say watch now.
Yeah.
But it wasn't even available. So I was like, oh, I'll just watch it on Monday. And then I went on Bleach Report. It was spoiled for me that Dakota Kai won. It was spoiled for me that, like, you know, I didn't know Kyle O'Reilly got kicked. So that was a good surprise for me. I knew Finn Balor got kicked.
Oh, yeah. So, Kyle got kicked, all right.
Oh, yeah. So, but overall, I thought the show was very good.
Yeah.
It wasn't as good as other takeovers. The Io Shirai match was the most disappointing. The men's Dusty Rhodes was the most surprising as well, for the good reason, you know, good and bad reason. Most disappointing, most surprising. The main event, you know how I feel about the finger spots with the main event. But
I love them. But Finn played a good job. We'll talk about all of that when we break down match by match. Because in my opinion, this takeover was a takeover they needed, because it really shined a light on a lot of people, and I thought every wrestler, for the most part, brought their A game. I was like, first match, like, okay, that's a good match. It's like, okay, that's a really good match. And then like, okay, that's a really good match. Like, it was one of those things where, like, it didn't feel like they were trying to cool you down at any point. They were just trying to rev you up.
The cool down was Cameron Grimes' fucking music video. Yahoo!
And that's fucking amazing. I mean, it even started out with a bang, because this guy, formerly known as Eli Drake, showed up, invaded the pre-show, reveals himself as LA Knight, his new persona, big indie darling, big impact guy, immediately makes an impact, no pun intended, on NXT, and he's going to be a primetime player. You know, they just taking from Impact. And at this point, with the crossovers going on with AEW and Impact and everything, I think this is the right move for a guy like him, who's been around for a pretty long time, had a couple of goes, had one go with WWE, they released him, he tried to come back. According to his own interview that he did, there was a guy that was kind of screwing him over in WWE, but then they fired him. And so he waited a little bit longer, and now he's back in. So he is officially signed. Well, look at that handshake with Regal and NXT. So, do you remember Eli Drake at all? Because I know you used to watch Impact.
Yes, I'm looking at his Wikipedia right now. Yes, that's why I'm moving on the camera like I'm a moron. He debuted in The Rising, which was his tag team.
Yeah.
It was Eli Drake and... Oh, no. The Rising was a faction. Drake joined Drew Galloway and Micah to form The Rising, defeating the Beatdown Clan. I don't know this is 2015. I have no idea who the fuck
this is right after you. This is right after you came.
It's like right when I left.
Yeah.
So I was thinking of who was the Impact tag team that was like Wolves?
God, I do not know. I'm very poor with my Impact.
Let me go with TNA Impact 2013 Tag Champions. All right, maybe that'll help me out here.
We really need Freckles back.
We do. Wasn't the Bromans? Title history. I'm not going to fuck me. It's gonna be a long. This is gonna be a
Yeah,
long one.
it's gonna be a while.
Eli Drake and Scott Steiner, April 22nd, 2018. That's not them. The Wolves. They literally called the Wolves. Eddie Edwards.
Okay, there it is.
I thought this was Eddie Edwards. It was the Wolves. That was their tag team name. The Wolves.
Yeah.
Of Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards. So I have never experienced JD Drake or
Eli Drake.
Not JD Drake. Eli Drake. I gotta stop doing too many Drakes, all right?
Yeah, there's a lot of Drakes in wrestling.
Heartbreak Drake over here.
Yeah.
But no, I've never experienced this guy. I've heard things about him, but I thought he was Eddie Edwards. So fuck me, I guess.
I will say he did cut a fantastic promo, so I'm excited for him. It's very rare, especially for NXT, that you come in and you're just able to cut a promo on your first night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're like, oh, here, take a mic and go off, which is absolutely bonkers that they lets him do that. But that just shows you how strong he is on the mic.
They know what he's good at.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the EC3 was also strong on the mic, and they didn't do shit with EC3.
You see this logo? that was a promo he cut. You see this logo?
Oh my god! But let's move on to things that actually happened on the card. Let's start with the main event, because this was I talked about this when we did War Room with Mr. YLP. This is the first time they've ever had a legitimate match in the history of wrestling.
Yeah,
and
they
mentioned
NXT. They're always evading each other. Like, as soon as like Pete Dunne was coming up, Finn Balor went to Japan. As soon as Pete Dunne went to Japan, Finn went to WWE.
Yeah.
As soon as Pete went to NXT,
Balor was in Raw.
Finn went to Raw. So kind of like, ooh. And then as soon as then NXT went back, Finn Balor went back. He was in UK. So now here they are.
Yeah. I enjoyed this match. This is a fantastic wrestling match, and Finn did everything in his power to make Pete believable, because there was a point where Pete was just hitting move after move after move. It was slow to begin. They really slowed it down until it hit a fever pitch, and all of a sudden I thought Pete had it, and I was like, holy shit, they're going to give it to him, and then Finn kicks out. So it was great all the way around. Finn and Pete Dunne just work well together, and I love this match.
Yeah. Again, my only critique is I don't like the finger spots. It's like it doesn't look real, which is kind of weird to say, because they bend it all back, but like when he has the actual break, it's like, wow, this looks stupid, because otherwise his finger would be broken.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Yeah, But Finn did his best. Like, even when he tried to point, and he was like, ew, dinosaur hands.
Yeah, I literally it's like gonna fucking jump on a dinosaur. It's like Step Brothers, right? Like, that's kind of what it reminded me of. So like, he did a good job selling it.
Yeah.
But he also did it like 3 or 4 times in the match, which can be a little much. Like, when we see him at TakeOver, he does it like once. And that was it. But other than that, these two, they put on a clinic. It was a great match.
Yeah, it was a great match, and Finn retained. And then the aftermath, because the NXT credits got everybody again. Finn gets beat up by, I guess, Pete Dunne's boys. Undisputed comes out. They help Finn yet again. No Bobby Fish. And then They all get together. It looks like Finn and them are going to be cool. We're going to do the pose together. Then Adam Cole super kicked the shit out of Finn Balor.
Did you see it coming?
When I was watching it, I was looking at Cole. I was like, this motherfucker's going to kick somebody. Like, just by looking at how he was positioning, I was like, he's lining up a kick. That's what I thought.
It's not even that, because I knew it was coming. So like I was watching him, like a hawk. So I was watching him, and I noticed, like, he didn't have a smile on his face. He didn't take his eyes off of Finn Balor.
Yeah.
And before it even happened, like, when Kyle O'Reilly was putting his hand down to lift him up, Adam Cole went over and said something to Roddy, I was really curious.
Really? I didn't even see that. I got to watch that again.
Yeah, I mean, because you weren't looking at it. You were looking in the foreground. I was looking in the background.
Yeah.
And then the setup, and he looked at him. I was like, oh, because it's scripted.
Yeah.
So I was like, I think he did a really good job. I'm just wondering if someone who didn't know picked up on that, if he kind of telegraphed it or if he kind of if they really did a good job of hiding it. I think they did a really good job of hiding it because, again, I did not see him kicking Kyle O'Reilly coming at all. I was like, oh shit, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though, like it was great. It was shocking. It leaves so much room for what's gonna happen next.
Yeah, it gives you wiggle room from a creative standpoint too.
But is this kind of just out of nowhere? Like why Cole? Why? It's kind of like why? There was no reason behind it.
I mean, it's all gonna be on an Adam Cole promo, which is gonna be perfectly fine because Adam Cole will have the promo of his career. This also isn't the first time that Adam Cole's turned on Kyle O'Reilly in their career. He turned on him in ROH the same way and super kicked him in the face. So this is just like fool me once, fool me twice. I think the rumor is, I think it's kind of this bro jealousy, like why are you being all buddies with Finn? He's the enemy, like he has my title. No, it could be just a storyline wise. Maybe he could be just jealous of Kyle and Finn's thing, like it's like a bro thing.
I mean, yeah, but
Maybe.
there was no. I don't want to say there was no like seeds planning because everything kind of needs that foretelling.
Yeah.
But this was just so out. Like I feel like this was more shocking because it was so out of nowhere to the point where it almost doesn't even make sense to do.
Yeah.
Like they've teased a breakup before, but it's kind of just like, but why now?
Yeah. You know what I thought was going to happen? When I was originally trying to book this, I thought Walter was going to show up and beat the shit out of Finn. Because I was like, they've been teasing Imperium. All three members of Imperium, except Walter, have shown up. And Walter, like, this is a great time to do the match that you wanted to have, but now both of them have the titles. You do Finn and Walter, and that's your NXT Mania match.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's going to happen now.
But they still can't because of COVID.
Who knows?
I don't know. Yeah, it could be travel restrictions. It could be Walter because Walter is not from. Where is Walter? Like he's not. Is he in the UK? Is he? Because he's not British. Where is he originally from? Like
I think Austria or something.
Austria.
Yeah.
So God only knows what the travel restrictions are from Austria. If he's allowed to leave his little village, right? We have his mud hut. We have no idea.
I have no clue.
Where's Walter? Fuck Waldo. Where's Walter?
He did tweet the other day like a silhouette picture of all four of them, and he's like, it's been a while. So maybe he's already here. And they just didn't pull the trigger on him just yet, which I don't know why. Because I thought the Walter ending would have been fantastic. But this is also a fantastic ending because it's Adam Cole. And we've talked about this before. It's either Adam Cole is going to go on a crazy solo run because he's your guy out of that group, or the Undisputed is going to stay together forever, which obviously that's not going to happen. So I think this is Adam Cole breaking away because they have plans for him up on Raw or SmackDown.
Yeah, what it is like this is the breakup we all wanted.
But we didn't want.
We all know we need. Now that it's here, we're like, oh.
No.
No. They were booing Rey Mysterio. Who boos Rey Mysterio?
It was like that. Like who boos Rey Mysterio? What? Who breaks up on Undisputed Era?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. It was devastating. But I'm curious. I'm very curious. Let's move along to this to the other the other championship main event. Women's triple threat, Mercedes Martinez, Io Shirai, Toni Storm, an honorable mention to the announce table that decided not to sell at all and just collapsed. Which is a shame because I thought they had a great spot, but apparently they had to work it on the fly. It was is it just me, Will, or did this match feel rushed?
It was, that's the word. That's the exact word I would use. In fact, it feels like they just got it out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Like with that's with the booking. That's with this throwing Mercedes Martinez in it for like not no reason, but like not really a great reason. And it only got 13 minutes. The shortest match on the card. 13 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, so it did. Rushed is a great word for it, and I've been saying this for a while now. Io Shirai has really cooled off.
Mm-hmm.
Just a few months ago, I was saying she was the best woman on the world, like on the planet wrestling. She was like the most over this and that, and she was. And now it's just like she hasn't been on TV much. She hasn't really been in many programs. because the tag classics really got in the way of that.
It did a lot.
But now she suffered from it.
Yeah, I mean, and she still found a way to jump off of something high. I think that's just kind of her shtick. Like, she just wants to jump off something high. And this match had a lot of potential. It had a lot of hard-hitting stuff. You had a lot of good workers. But it was just rushed. It was short. And you wanted more. It wasn't... And it's really crazy to say that this wasn't the most exciting match, even though there were some great spots in the match, like this, this double submission, which would have been cool. And actually, this spot right here that we're showing for everybody watching this on video, this would have been a great finish.
Yeah.
To figure out who would tap out, but they kind of put it in the middle. But there was a little bit. They could have done more if they had more time, and I think it's one of those things where they really wanted to put an emphasis on the main event and everything happening after the main event, that they probably crunched them.
Yeah. Also, like they had time to work with on the card. Like Johnny and Kushida probably went like 5 minutes too long.
Little. But Johnny and Kushida did drag out.
Yeah.
But I love Johnny and Kushida. But overall, Io wins. Who knows what's next for Io? Only time will tell. Well, they just signed Taya Valkyrie, so who the hell knows what's going on with them. But let's go to just a unbelievable tag team match between MSK and GYV for the Men's Dusty Cup final. We said this a couple of weeks when they put MSK in there, and I was like, the best way to put these guys on the map is to have them run the table. And I think I might have predicted MSK GYV as the final. And it was the final, and MSK did and GYV too, Grizzled Young Vets, they did everything they were supposed to.
Yeah, this was the best way to do this, because I think I said it last week or a week or two ago.
Yeah.
Where the previous winners was people thrown together. Mm-hmm. Kind of devalues your tag teams. These were two tag teams who have been tag teams for a while.
Yeah.
Right. Like it doesn't make sense if Christian and
Rhino.
like Rhino or Test.
Yeah.
beat the Dudley brothers, right? Like that doesn't make sense that they would beat them in a tag team tournament. You should have your final should be two tag teams. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Two of the best, and MSK really, really, really shined. I just hate the name Wesley. Drives me fucking nuts. Just call him Wesley. Just call him fucking Wesley. Not even like Wesley Blake. Not even Wesley Travis. Wesley last name. Just call him Wesley. Because when he goes up the main roster, Vince is gonna be like, Wesley.
Yeah.
It annoys the shit out of me.
Yeah, I love how they're Lee and Carter, like they're from Rush Hour. Like, I feel like their favorite movie is Rush Hour, and that's where they got the names. But they're fantastic. And also, Wesley is an athletic freak of nature.
Yeah, he jumped really far over his turnbuckles.
Yeah. He cleared the turnbuckle and did a perfect dive.
Yeah, I like him better than the other one.
It's Carter and Lee, my fault, not Nash. It's Carter and Lee, yeah.
Yeah, Nash.
It's Nash, Carter, and Wesley.
Yes.
Nash, Carter, and Wesley.
They worked really well with the Grizzled Young Veterans. I thought this had the perfect amount of time, great pacing, high flying. The ref work was even good. Like everything, the storytelling was great.
Yeah.
And I'm glad MSK pulled it out. I mean, honestly, I was fine with either team winning.
GYV is a fantastic tag team.
Yeah. They yell too much. They're very 80s and they're yelling.
Yeah. Yeah, but they're just it was great. It was hard for me to choose. I was like, this might be the match of a night, because they just brought it. They did everything right. And now MSK is on the map. Now everybody's talking about these guys.
Yeah.
Everybody's talking about these guys. And that's what you want out of them. You put them in the showstopper position. They pretty, or not showstopper, show stealer. They stole the show for up to that point in time, and social media wise, people from outside of WWE that knew them were very happy for them, and that's going to push them even more. That they're getting this support from everybody. And it was great. It was great to see, but I'm very happy for them because I think they're entertaining. They're like your weird cousins that like wrestling too much and they just dress funny,
Yeah.
but you
Yeah,
love them
definitely.
anyways.
Yeah,
You love them anyways.
they needed to take those tag belts because Oni and Danny
They're
just
flat. They're not doing anything.
they don't do again the tournament
Yeah.
took up too much TV time, and there was just nothing for them
And
to
Oni and Danny
do.
didn't even interact with anybody in the tournament, which is probably a misstep.
Yeah,
You know.
well, they were also busy with Pete Dunne in the main event.
Yeah, they were
So
driving around Pete Dunne, and
it's
it's
not like
really
they
funny.
weren't doing anything. They just
Yeah.
weren't. They said they don't need the they didn't do the belts any favors. Put it that way.
Yeah. Speaking of Pete Dunne and the faction in the main event, did you see Pat McAfee's tweets after Adam Cole turned?
No, I didn't.
Pat McAfee was like, "I've been telling you guys for years he's a douchebag. Now look at you guys." Oh, Pat McAfee. Oh, before we move on to the other two matches on the card, Triple H did have like a media meeting where he addressed the Pat McAfee situation.
Oh yeah.
So he's not injured.
He heard the podcast. That's why.
Yeah, he's not injured or anything. It's more so that he just needed a break, and apparently Triple H had a conversation, and Pat McAfee was like, "Listen, I just got married, and if I don't stop for a little bit, I will not be married anymore."
Yeah, that's fair.
So he just needed time to wait. So Pat McAfee's coming back, and also Velveteen Dream is still on the roster. And Triple H is like, "There's nothing else to tell you. He's still on the roster." Moving on. This was also, I thought, a very entertaining match myself as we moved down the card. Johnny Gargano and Kushida. This is the match that Kushida needed, and Johnny Gargano did everything that Johnny Gargano was supposed to do. He made Kushida look great, and he also made himself look fantastic as well. Because Johnny Gargano is just amazing at takeovers.
Yeah, it went a little long. Mm-hmm. Like in particular that spot where Johnny was like feigning the tap, getting to the ropes, getting back. You know that.
Oh, when he was dragging it out, and he like.
Yeah. Like he dragged it out a little too much. I'm nitpicking, I know, but a little too much. They could have cut down on this match. Which is why it's not my match of the week, but
yeah,
man, that motherfucker knows how to wrestle on a takeover.
Yeah, it's unreal, like how he just does
this. I'm surprised Kushida didn't take the belt.
I thought he had it.
I did too.
I thought he had it. I thought he had it. These guys. And Kushida just knows how to wrestle too. Like they worked so good, especially with chain wrestling and the counters that they transitioned with. Was fantastic.
Oh, and when they were on the mat, like trying to get in the headlock, like
yeah,
or like the finishing moves, just one after the other, after the other, after the other. That was phenomenal. That was phenomenal. I loved it.
Yeah, it's great. And Kushida, the problem with Kushida is that he's just an outlier in the story between Gargano and Dexter Lumis.
Yeah.
Which is a shame. Although I do love a Dexter Lumis spot, how he abducted Austin Theory and nobody noticed.
Oh, that's what happened.
Yeah. So they did a shot of like the whole way walking to the ring.
Yeah.
And so when Dexter Lumis comes from behind, takes like a chloroform cloth and yeah, and takes Austin. So what ends up happening is that what is it? Johnny comes out to the ring. And he goes for a no-look high five, and he doesn't get anything.
And then they go look for him. Yeah.
So that's why Gwen was a one-on-one, which is actually genius for them to do. Because that actually benefited Kushida, because it makes Kushida look bigger, because Kushida doesn't have to worry about anybody else.
Yeah, then the match had no shenanigans.
Yeah.
Which helped the match. 100%. Yeah. 100% helped the match.
Yeah, so it's good. So now Austin Theory's missing. They're playing it up on social media. Somebody has hacked Austin Theory's Twitter, and they changed his default image to Dexter Lumis's eyes.
Oh my god!
So it is fantastic. Johnny Gargano retains, and to start off the show, we had Dakota and Raquel versus Shotzi and Ember for the women's match. Also, a very fantastic match. The story here was obviously. You shouldn't fuck with Raquel Gonzalez.
Yeah. Also,
Yeah.
other story of the match. Dakota Kai's is there. She's just there. Like here's like I almost want to say poor Dakota Kai, but Raquel Gonzalez also really deserves it. Think of like a year ago when Raquel debuted. Like
Yeah.
to,
She was big. She had like her big coming out in Portland
yeah.
to help Dakota.
Like Raquel came out with Dakota. It was always Dakota's music. Dakota got the pins.
Yeah.
Raquel got involved, but like now it's just Raquel is just such a star. Dakota isn't even an afterthought. Dakota only got this because Raquel needed the accolade of the first. Raquel Gonzalez is the first Dusty Cup winner. And Dakota Kai is just like, I was. Shut up, Dakota. I was too. Shut up. You're like, right? It's just like, go back and play with your toys, Dakota. Like, go dye your hair some more. Go do this thing in your lean. Like, I don't like anything about Dakota Kai.
She lost a lot of steam because Tegan Knox got injured again.
Well, she also lost a lot to Tegan Knox.
Yeah, except for when Raquel got involved.
Yeah. So like her heel turn was last November, 2019.
2019, yeah.
And she hasn't done a goddamn thing since. Like, here's how bad Dakota Kai is. They brought in a heavy to help her, and her heavy is way outshined her.
her heavy is the story, and I was actually surprised that they won, especially with Shayna and Nia being the women's tag champions, and you got your wish. This is meaning something now, so now they get to go up against Shayna and Nia, and I was like, okay, you have two technically heels going up against each other. That's why I thought Ember and Shotzi were made to win this, but it's still also Raquel Gonzalez.
Well, we don't know if it's going to be a one-on-one match, or by that I mean teams. Like we don't know when it's going to be. This could just lead to like a triangle tag match or a fatal four-way at WrestleMania.
They would totally triangle tag this at Mania.
Yeah, right. Like if they're going to stretch out to Mania, at Mania, it's not going to be a team on team. It's going to be like a multiple.
There's going to be somebody else involved.
Yeah, to get bodies on the card, because like WrestleMania, they like having people on the card,
and it's 2 nights.
And it's 2 nights, and it'll probably win the pre-show of night 2.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens with them. But they won, very good for them. So overall, what would you crown this?
I'm gonna stick with 8.
Stick with 8. I'm gonna go 9.
8 last week. I'm gonna stick with 8.
I'm gonna go 9. I enjoyed this a whole lot. Like I enjoyed this a bunch. I thought it was good. There wasn't that many down parts to it, and fucking Christ. Fucking Adam Cole, you show stealing son of a bitch. And you know what it was? It's just like HBK when he fucked over Jannetty.
Yeah, right through the window.
Right through the window. So that's all we got on our first hour. When we come back on our second hour, we're gonna pay some bills, eat some food, all that hot stuff. When we come back from our little break, we are going to break down a chaotic elimination chamber and all the other random shenanigans that are going on at AEW, and a little bit of a Limitless announcement. So all of that when we come back. We'll be right back.
I mean, they were booing Rey Mysterio. Who boos Rey Mysterio?
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, Kings of the Rings podcast, exclusively here on Wrestle Addict Radio. I'm your host, King Rickie Rose, with the birthday boy, Willy T, in the building. Yeah, right? Ooh, you're getting old.
Ooh, got him.
Ooh, yeah.
My gray, it's all right here.
Yeah.
It's all gray.
Are you ever going to dye? Or just going to keep it at gray?
No, I'm gonna keep it gray. What do you mean? I love my gray streak. It's amazing. I love it. It's sexy.
you're a silver fox.
Yeah, right.
All right, so speaking of Silver Fox, let's go into Elimination Chamber because WWE decided we're going to put on another pay-per-view 2 Sundays in a row. So Elimination Chamber, good job, Will. Elimination Chamber.
I'm trying to get branding.
Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. You were failing at this.
Yeah,
Elimination
really
Chamber pay-per-view is this Sunday, February 21st. I think at 7 p.m. Is going. Yeah, just throw it. There it is. Yeah, we're gonna get a new logo merch anyway soon, so we get a new hat.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So Elimination Chamber is this Sunday. The card isn't filled out too much yet, so there's not much for us to talk about, but there is a lot for us to talk about, especially with this match on the card. It was supposed to be Asuka versus Lacey Evans for WWE Raw Women's Championship, but then Lacey was like, bless your heart, I'm pregnant. Which is apparently a real thing. Storyline, you're assuming that Ric Flair still has some drip, and he got Lacey pregnant. But according to some other sources, she's legitimately pregnant. So, how much do you believe this?
Well, Bleeding Cool News says Lacey Evans happy to be impregnated by 71-year-old Ric Flair. So, not very much.
Yeah, this came out of left field. She didn't really wrestle on Raw. She was hiding from stuff. So, could it be storyline? Absolutely. WWE has done the pregnancy storyline all the time.
Well, here's the thing. If she was actually pregnant, for real, in realsies, lifesies, they would have had an announcement. Michael Cole would have said, due to this, due to Lacey Evans' pregnancy, or they would have used her real name, pregnancy, we had to withdraw her from the match. Congratulations are in order, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
And then they would have had a gauntlet match or an elimination match or some kind of match to determine who's going to replace her. Mm-hmm. The fact that they didn't mention who's replacing her or it hasn't been announced yet, this is probably a storyline.
She is still on the card. I know you Hulu Raw'd it, but did they give you the shot of the announcers' reactions?
Yeah,
when they were just it was almost like Vince wanted to make himself laugh too and just not tell anybody.
Yeah,
because that was their reaction. They're like, "Fuck!" We don't know how to announce this, which is kind of funny. All right, so let's say for all intents and purposes that she is actually pregnant. Number one, congratulations. But number two, who the hell replaces her?
Nobody.
Or
Charlotte.
Charlotte, but do you waste that before Mania?
I mean, is Asuka gonna have the belt into Mania?
Do you think they do a switch and Asuka's on the chase for Charlotte in the Mania?
I don't know. I have no idea. These pregnancy angles are very tacky. If Kay was here, I bet they would be just dunking all over it and saying how stupid it is, and women deserve better storylines. And I'm pregnant. Remember when Kelly was pregnant when
was she really?
She said she was pregnant because Jerry Springer was on the show.
Yes, and Stephanie McMahon used the fake pregnancy angle as well.
Yep. Lita used it very rarely will you I'm pregnant. So I think that Nikki Bella said she was pregnant on TV once.
I think the only legit pregnancy was Becky Lynch's pregnancy.
Was Becky Lynch? Yeah, and you know what? That was the only good one.
Yeah. No. I will say this. It's still it's just funny wrestling lore to this day. Mae Young getting pregnant is still one of the funniest.
You know why? Because that was so obvious. She can't be. That's biologically impossible.
Yeah, and then she gave birth to a hand. Again, hysterical. And then they had the hand grow. Okay. And then the hand grew up, and they brought him back.
So Becky and Mae Young are the only ones who can be pregnant on TV.
Yeah.
Because one is so real because it actually happened, and one is so impossibly stupid it can't be real, which is why it's amazing.
And one of the best things about that story, about the Mae Young pregnancy story, is that Vince just thought it was fucking hysterical. He was right, but that's why he put it on TV, because he thought it was funny.
Yeah. Classic Vince.
Classic Vince. So who the hell knows with that? The other match that's going on, again, maybe because no one's seen Keith Lee, is the triple threat Bobby versus everybody's most hated stoner Matt Riddle versus Keith Lee for the U.S. title. Again, this is all pending if Keith Lee is even going to show up. You know, because, I mean, congratulations to Keith Lee. He got engaged to Mia Yim.
Yes, he did. I did see that. Yeah. Lucky bastard.
Yeah, right? He got engaged to Mia Yim. But Mia Yim also did just have COVID. So who knows if he's even going to be cleared for this, which is a shame. But the story's not with him. The story's
the triple threat match with Lashley, right?
Yeah, the story is between Bobby and Riddle, which I'm very scared that Riddle's going to win this.
No, dude, my dream predicted it. Riddle's going to win Money in the Bank, so he's not touching anything.
Yeah, there's never been a reigning champion to win Money in the Bank, because that kind of defeats the purpose.
Because that's stupid.
Yeah, it defeats the purpose.
It's like a Money in the Bank winner being in a title match. What? Why? It's stupid.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm going with Bobby's retaining.
Yeah, he's on a roll.
Yeah, I love this nastier side of him. It's the Bobby Lashley we needed all along.
Yeah, all he needs is like a.
Is he need Leo Rush to say, "Hey, Bobby"?
He's got to give Cedric Alexander a super kick.
Oh my God, yeah. So let's go with Bobby. Moving on.
Bobby.
Yeah. Moving on. The WWE Heavyweight Championship Elimination Chamber match is Drew McIntyre defending in the Elimination Chamber against Sheamus, Randy Orton, AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy, who's still able to walk, and now Kofi Kingston is in another Elimination Chamber leading up to Mania, because The Miz cut another Angry Miz promo and took himself out and used logic to get himself out. And it was beautiful. And I saw it coming. I was like, okay. Miz is just being an asshole. He gets his ass whipped. Now he's pissed off. Whoever I was watching it with, I was like, listen, he's about to cut the promo of his life. Watch this. And he just went on a tyrant.
The Miz.
Wow, what an asshole!
But yeah, he was so right. And I'm so glad they did it, because it was stupid that he was in there because he has the Money in the Bank. It's just like
why am I doing this?
Yeah, why is he doing it? And it's great heel heat for just be like, you know what? No, fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I thought it was great. And again, what a promo. I never want to hear him call Drew McIntyre Andy ever again.
You know, it's a shame, because now I see Drew McIntyre, now I just want to call him Andy. It's
like, but Drew's his actual name is not short for Drew. Isn't short for Andrew.
It's not short for Andrew? Is that
no?
Okay.
Drew is a very Irish name.
Gotcha. For a second, I really thought it was Andrew, and they just called him Drew. And I was
no.
So he's just being an asshole and calling him Andy.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Perfect. All right, so here's a big question. Besides the fact that Kofi weaseled his way in, and I was like, all right, we're doing Kofi Mania 2.0, which would be amazing if they just teased it. But why not Mustafa Ali?
He's not a former champion.
That's true. He is not a former champion. That's the only
John Morris's ECW World Champion. Which I thought was just magnificent. I thought that was so good because he's right.
He's right. He is right. I see this match. I see them teasing Kofi doing the whole thing. Like the Kofi Mania thing started at Elimination Chamber 2 years ago when he had to replace Mustafa Ali because he was injured.
Yeah.
And so I can see them teasing this again. And us and then just breaking our hearts. Like
it's so crazy that the Kofi Mania happened that quickly, and that organically.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan started from literally
8 months before, I think.
Like before the previous SummerSlam, because Daniel Bryan really because he won the title at SummerSlam, got screwed by Triple H.
Yeah.
Got screwed by Triple H. Randy Orton cashed in. But before that, he was in Team Hell No.
Yeah.
And that is when Team Hell No formed, that is when Daniel Bryan really got over.
Yeah.
Like really, really got over.
Yeah.
And just carried. And Kobe was just like, February, I got this.
Perfect. Let's go.
I have until April. All right.
Oh yeah. We're good.
Because we were watching, like, okay, like who's Daniel Bryan gonna face? Like we had no idea.
Yeah.
Because who won the Rumble?
Who did win the Rumble?
Randy, not Randy Orton.
No. Was it Shinsuke won? Shinsuke won the one we were at in 2018.
Yeah.
Who won 2019?
2019. Seth Rollins.
Seth, yes.
And that was very clear he's going to face Brock. So it's like, well, Daniel Bryan's a heel champion. Who is he going to face? Who's SmackDown's face? And all of a sudden, Kofi Kingston was just like, I got this, bruh. I got this.
Trust me. Get Vince involved. We're good.
I thought this was a good callback. You know, I don't think Kofi Mania is happening. I don't really want to see it again. You know, I think the magic isn't there again. It's lightning can't strike twice in this situation.
Yeah.
Drew's retaining.
Yeah, I can see that. You know, Randy's not winning it again. Randy's just there to just make it look like he's about to win.
I forgot Randy was in it. Randy's in there to be the last one, and the Fiend comes back.
Yeah, that could be it. Jeff's there to do a high spot. Sheamus. I still think your money's on Sheamus and Drew. I think there's a great story there. Sheamus won, so he's coming in last. Mm-hmm. You know, he's got the final stuff.
But I like that. I like that. That's a good reason for a gauntlet match.
Yeah. And I really, because if you're not going to bring AJ to do Big E, which I thought would be perfect for Mania, and after watching this gauntlet match, I would love to see AJ and Drew for the title.
I want to see. I could really fuck with AJ Drew. Sheamus. The problem with Sheamus and Drew is
they're too similar.
Well, no. It's just that the match just belongs in the mid card. To be honest, that's a.
Well, yeah, because Roman's your Mania main event. Spoiler.
Yeah, but Sheamus doesn't have the star power to be with Drew. I mean, honestly, you know, you have two nights. Night one should be Bianca and Sasha.
Yes.
And night two should be Roman and Edge.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, where do you put Drew?
Yeah.
No matter the thing is, like, no matter who he faces, and here's the thing, like, you're building a Mania. You know, you need your ups and downs, your come ups and your come downs. Drew McIntyre, like, Sheamus isn't a bad match.
No.
Depending on the flow of how you want WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But your WWE title and Drew McIntyre should be on a pretty high pedestal.
Yeah.
And Sheamus doesn't fit that build.
Yeah, and from a promo standpoint, promo and in ring, I think it's AJ and Drew. But Sheamus is the more organic story at this point that they're teasing.
Well, we still have Fastlane, so there's your match for there.
That's true. They could just give it to Fastlane and figure something out from there, which is cool. So I'm comfortable with Drew retaining. We all know it's not Jeff. Sorry, Kay. It's not Jeff at all.
Oh, he's eliminated first.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. On a more stable brand, SmackDown is having their Elimination Chamber match. It's Daniel Bryan, Kevin Owens, main event Jey Uso, King Corbin, who still gets opportunities, Sami Zayn, and Cesaro. The winner of this gets the opportunity to get screwed by Roman Reigns later on in the night. Because Roman Reigns is a fucking genius.
Yeah, like it's good heat.
Yeah,
but I'm just like, this sucks.
It sucks for the winner.
Like,
it sucks for the winner.
It's just like, well, what's the point of, like, would you have preferred this or a women's chamber match?
I've actually argued with this about people because some people are like, "Oh, we need a women's chamber," and I'm just like, "Not really."
No, you don't. You don't need one.
You know, but it was more so that I was just like, what's the story? What story are you going to try to do in a very short amount of time that are going to involve 6 women fighting for the title when you haven't even done barely 2 women fighting for a title at a time.
Yeah. No, like I 100% agree with you. The women do not need to be in a chamber honestly, the women don't deserve to be in a chamber this year.
No.
Because what are you gonna do? Like Bianca's already the star.
Yeah, Bianca's a star, Sasha's your star, Asuka's there, and Asuka's already paired with Charlotte, who's messing around with Lacey. That's only 5. Even if you did winner take all, which they'll never do.
No.
You still need to fill one gap. There's that is the problem with the women on the Raw and SmackDown. It's like, if you are not fighting for the main title, you're basically irrelevant. Unless you're Billie Kay and you're just funny as fuck.
Yeah.
And that's the issue, because the tag titles don't do what they're supposed to do.
They don't do anything. They might as well not be there.
And so I will scream. They need a mid card. They need a women's mid card so that they can build the other women. Like, there's no reason we can't see Nikki Cross fighting for a mid card title.
Yeah.
Or Billie Kay, or even Peyton Royce in a lower mid card fighting for a title. Or Lacey Evans would have been a great mid card champion.
Oh, phenomenal. Yeah. Definitely. She'd make a good Raw champion.
Yeah.
Honestly, I hope she does wrestle on Sunday. I hope she wins a title.
Yeah. And then is legitimately pregnant and then doesn't defend for 9 months. Great heel heat. Heel heat. Great heel heat. But for this match, it's not, speaking of heels, it's not going to be the heels. You know what they're going to do? Because they want you to hate Roman. So now that they're bought in for Roman being heel, they want you to hate Roman. And that's why I think Cesaro's going to win.
That's a good rub.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Cesaro. Unfortunately, Cesaro, it's very hard to market Cesaro.
Which is crazy. Why. Internationally, he markets fantastic. I think an American crowd, he probably just doesn't market well. Which is weird.
They missed the boat with him.
Yeah.
Like when he got put with Paul Heyman, they just didn't.
For 2 seconds. I mean, they took him away.
That, and then a big thing was too, because he was with the Real Americans with Zeb Coulter.
Oh yeah, but xenophobia.
And a big thing that got them over was Jack Swagger's theme music.
Yeah.
And when they split, Cesaro, they should have had a match for the theme music. And if Cesaro won that theme music, I swear to God, this would have worked. Wrestling fans are so stupid. Like, a reason why Cesaro's push didn't work is because you get that stupid siren theme song.
And the breakaway pants.
And the breakaway pants, the King of Swing. Like, you got put with Paul Heyman for no reason. And he just...
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, which
is then he got hurt. Came back, was in an IC title picture, lost, and then again. And ever since then, he's been lost.
Yeah, it's a shame too, because remember when he did? I think he was one of the only people that did like back-to-back U.S. title challenges with Cena. Remember when Cena and Cesaro main evented Raw, and Cena tried his damnedest to put him over.
Yeah, everyone tries their damnedest to put him over because they know how good he is. Look what Daniel Bryan's doing.
Yeah. Daniel Bryan tapped for him.
I think no matter, even if Cesaro wins and then loses, which he will, he's not gonna get a spot on Mania. Like he's not gonna have a singles match on Mania. He's not gonna have a tag match on Mania. He's gonna be in some battle royal.
You know what's a shame? And at this point, if Cesaro loses, which he will, either in the Chamber, which he will lose, it's odds are in favor of him losing the Chamber, or if he wins the Chamber and loses to Roman, because they're not taking the title off of Roman, you'd be out of your mind to do that.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, put him with Big E. I think him and Big E would have a great middle of Mania match for the IC title.
That could work. Is Cesaro's like a face now, pretty much.
Yeah. But like with 2 nights, there's gotta be a spot for Cesaro.
Yeah.
They're building him to something.
I think him winning the Chamber will be good. He's gonna lose to Roman. And then out of nowhere, Edge is going to spew the fuck out of him and make his decision. That's how the show's going to go off the air. And Edge is going to be like, you took the cheap way out. Not with me there, big dog.
Yeah.
I'm going to put you out. And I think
ultimate opportunist.
Yeah. He's like, oh, I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to be me. Well, let me teach you a thing or two about being an opportunist. I think that's a pretty decent storyline. And Edge needs to be on Fox. He needs to be in that mainstream.
Absolutely.
That's the best way to draw in casual viewers.
Yeah, Fox is also killing with SmackDown on Fridays. Like from a numbers, they are killing right now, and it is unreal what they're doing. So what I mean, this is what we know from Elimination Chamber on bar. There's probably going to be some fillers. I'm saying this is probably like a 7-5. The Chambers are going to steal the show, obviously, because it's the fucking Chamber.
They always do with their stupid padding.
Yeah. So I'm going to give it a 7.5.
I'll give it a 7. So I want to be. I don't want to give it a 7.5 and be disappointed. I'd rather give it a 7 and be surprised.
That's fine. That's fine. That makes sense. That makes perfect sense.
Aim small, miss small.
Yeah. So let's move on from that. On to AEW, where somebody's a little upset. Sammy Guevara.
Booing Rey Mysterio. Who boos Rey Mysterio?
Sammy Guevara is out of the inner circle. He kind of had a tyrant like you. Like a child who's mad at their parents for being overbearing the entire time. And now he's like running away from home. But now Sammy's a singles guy now. What do you think about this?
I don't know. I think it's a gamble that needs to happen.
Yeah.
Because, there was nothing left for him in the inner circle since he came back from his whole Sasha Banks debacle. Mm-hmm. He's been struggling. And I think he needs a strong. He can't be a heel right now. Put it that way.
He's got to fit. He's got to. You know what I mean? Face.
Like, yeah. You can't. It's very hard to boo him without. You got to make him likable. Like that's what Sammy Guevara. That's what the person needs. That's what the character needs. That's what the wrestler needs. Because this guy is a star in the making.
Oh, but
it's the question: how believable of a face do you think he can be?
Not that believable now.
I don't know. Like, he's a very good, natural piece of shit fucking heel.
Yeah.
But as a babyface, I don't see it. I hope he goes away for some time. Like, I hope we don't see him for like a month or two.
You give him like the Sting treatment, where he's just brooding and disappearing.
God. If he comes back in the rafters with fucking face paint and a baseball bat in a trench coat and starts stalking Lex Luger matches, I will lose my shit and take it all back. Right, but like he maybe they're gonna put the jetpack on him and make him a huge babyface. Maybe some people think that. I mean, I don't see it, but I think this is what needs to happen. Mm-hmm. He had to leave, and this is what MJF wanted the whole time, and it gets good heat on MJF. So him and when he does come back, him and MJF could have a great feud. Him and Jericho could have a good feud. And we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll definitely see. So we'll see with that. We're also gonna have to see what the hell is going on with Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy apparently is a super agent, and now he's trying to sign Hangman Adam Page, who is just another person who's lost all the time, and
it's a big old sad trombone boner killer. That's what it really is.
I'm scared for I love Hangman Adam Page. I thought he's great, but this is also kind of a scary thing. With now you have Okada coming and whoever the fuck else is going to show up from New Japan and Impact and all these other places. What do you do with Hangman Page? Because he got in at the right time, but they didn't really he was with the Elites and Omega, and now he's not, and he's an alcoholic, but he's not an alcoholic, and now he was like kind of with the Dark Order for a little bit. And now he's not with the Dark. Like, what is he doing?
Although, shout out to John Silver going, Adam, right? It's just like, oh my god, it was so perfect. Yeah, but no, I completely agree. Adam Page again, he got hurt the most due to COVID. Drew got hurt to COVID, but he bounced back. Hangman Adam Page just hasn't bounced back.
He hasn't been the same since.
He had that really good match with Kenny, and whenever they want, they could feud with Kenny.
Yeah,
they can just put the jetpack on whenever they want again, but they don't know what to do with them. The main event in AEW is very full,
so crowded.
And was he ever a top guy? Or is he always kind of that mid-carder IC champion, like in the Bullet Club or in the Elite kind of guy? He was always an up-and-coming guy.
They were just like, all right, there's this, you have the Elites and everything, and he was showed on being the Elite a ton of times. He was pretty much slated as he's the next big guy.
All right, so he was like number 2 or number 3.
You know, he's the next star. Like, he was always slated as the next star. Even in, like, the news wires and even ESPN, they're like, this guy's the next star of wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And now, nothing.
I mean, here's the thing. With Okada coming in, the Good Brothers in, Hangman, it's going to be very hard for him to break through.
Yeah. It's super hard. Unless he just goes on a tear and beats them, which is not going to happen.
No.
Yeah.
Because, another issue we didn't really talk about with all these guys coming in is their egos.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And, that is the problem with wrestling, right? It's the other companies, not just the egos of the wrestlers, the egos of the owners, the egos of the bookers, the egos of like everybody. If this is going to work,
everybody's got to be happy, and that's going to be really hard.
Everyone's ego needs to be in check. There's a reason why Vince McMahon only worked with ECW. You know what I mean? Because
yeah, I mean,
it's the reason why Vince put them all out of business instead of working with them.
Yeah, I mean, but in the '90s, it was very rare. But Vince did send some of his people to Japan from time to time, but that was very few and far between.
And WCW did it all the time.
Yeah. Which is good, it's good, but, like, the booking from a booking... Like, how do you book some shit like that? Like, are you really gonna book Okada to lose? Are you out of your mind? You know?
Unless he goes up against Kenny. Like, that's the thing, like, these top guys coming in, they can only really feud
with
believably with top guys. Like, if Okada versus Hangman, love to see it. Know the outcome.
Yeah.
Don't care the stipulation, right? You could have Okada be blindfolded on one leg with his arm in boiling water. He's winning. He's winning the match.
Yeah, and so I'm so upset for Hangman.
Yeah,
I'm so upset for him.
Although, if they let him go, if he just eventually just leaves and goes to WWE, forget it.
Jesus Christ, Triple H will be salivating at the mouth.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
I don't know how long his contract is, but
he's not an owner, so he can leave. So.
Yeah. So it sucks because this guy is just the best.
Yeah.
He is the absolute best. Like your future of that company is Hangman, Jungle Boy,
MJF.
and MJF.
Yep.
And Sammy Guevara.
Yeah, there's your 4.
Those are your 4. Right. If you want to throw in Britt Baker.
Somebody's got to carry the women. Somebody's got to do it. Yeah.
Throwing at Britt Baker, and I need one more for a SmackDown 6. All right, Darby Allin.
Yes, Darby. Yeah.
There is your 6th future of this company, and granted, you don't need them all to be huge stars right now. You can take your time with them,
but
like they are with MJF, like they are with Sammy, they are with Darby, and they are with Jungle Boy. But like
they need to be seen.
Yeah, they need to be seen. They need to be relevant. Like what Jungle Boy is doing with Revival, I think that's a great spot for him to be in.
Yeah.
That spot he was in with MJF later last year, a great spot for him to be in. MJF being with Jericho in the Inner Circle in a main event spot, his feud with Cody, great spot for him to be in.
Yeah. But they have to move on from that, and they still have to remain relevant.
Yes.
You know, and that's the thing, and I don't think we're getting Hangman being relevant. Which is shame to say, because like, oh, he's with Matt Hardy, that should make it relevant enough, but it's not going to be.
No, because it's the Matt Hardy no one wants to see. No one cares a fuck about big money Matt.
Yeah, just give me Matt facts at this point. Speaking of things no one cares about in AEW, which I hate to say this, but they're doing another tournament for the women. It's the Women's World Championship Eliminator Tournament, and I don't understand why they keep going back to this whole Eliminator Tournament, because every tournament is usually elimination, even if it's like double elimination. It's an like tournaments are
round robin.
Yeah, round robin. Or like tournaments
it's still elimination.
Yeah, there's still an elimination at some point. So it's 16 women, most of them who you probably haven't heard of, to be completely honest with you, unless you really follow Japan or the Indies. So they have a U.S. bracket and a Japan bracket, including, you know, Thunder Rosa, and former NWA champion, Serena Deeb, former NWA women's champion. Riho's doing stuff. Taynara Conti can wrestle Nyla Rose, Anna Jay, Britt Baker, Layla Hirsch, all on the women's side for the American side. And then a lot of talent in Japan who I'm really not going to try to screw up their names too bad.
Oh.
You know. And half of his, and again, half of his tournament is being seen on AEW Dark on YouTube.
Yep.
Again, which is a shame, and it's one of those things. I am critical of AEW for a lot of stuff, and I'll admit that. But I was really hoping they would expand on the women's side of wrestling a lot more, and that was something that I thought they were promising, and they had all this talent, because there's a lot of good women's talent out there, and Chris Statlander was injured, which also took away some lust from their some luster. Sorry, from
I totally forgot all about her. This
Yeah.
fucking alien, this stupid
Statlander.
fucking alien,
Yeah, I think she tore her ACL.
like the ET point at people.
Yes.
I'll be right. Fuck.
Yeah. But this is just, I mean, you can do any tournament you want with all these women, but
You can call it
They're
an
not on TV.
executioners. You can call it an
Yeah.
execution instead of an
They're not
elimination
getting
tournament. I
TV
still
time.
won't care.
they're not getting TV time to make you even care about them. And they Big Swole's not even in this tournament.
Dude, you could call this the King Henry Guillotine Tournament.
Where the loser gets beheaded after every
Yup,
match.
and I still won't watch it.
And that's a shame. That is a shame. I mean, it's the women's title for AEW, I think, is also a shame. Just the way it looks aesthetically.
Looks like a toy.
Yeah, it looks like a toy. And they really need to find some way to improve, or put them on TV. But again, this is also the issue. You're crossing over with all a bunch of people. Like, a bunch of the men are crossing over from all these different organizations. That Impact Knockouts division is fantastic. It's only a matter of time that they'll show up on AEW too.
Yeah.
And they're going to take a spot from Riho, because Riho doesn't deserve to be in this tournament. They're going to take a spot from Riho, and Nyla Rose is going to look like shit once Jordan Grace shows up. Deanna Purrazzo is a star in Impact. You don't think she's not going to show up on AEW? She definitely is. And so there's a lot that needs work in the women's division. But yeah, who knows who's going to win this tournament? Who knows if it's even going to be televised? It's a big question.
Who cares?
Yeah. Moving on. So that's all we got from AEW. But we want to have a big announcement for you. The reason that we have even this title called Seeing Double is that we have been very fortunate to be able to sponsor an independent wrestling show called Double Vision, going on Friday, March 19th on IWTV, exclusively on IWTV, which is $10 a month or $100 for a year. Limitless Wrestling is doing the promotion there, a promotion in Maine. They've had a lot of great talent in Limitless. They've been doing stuff since 2015. Darby Allin's been on Limitless Wrestling, Keith Lee. All of your indie darlings from yesteryear have all been on Limitless Wrestling in the past 6 years. So we're very excited to do this. I will tell you this: we are doing the main event. We are going to be
yeah, we are.
Yeah, we are sponsoring the main event championship match. So we are doing the main event proper. The Limitless Wrestling World Title is on the line. And so you might see some pretty noticeable people. I believe Chris Casanova, who we said might be rumored to be signing with NXT, this might be one of his final indie dates. He is confirmed to be at this Limitless Wrestling show, so I'm very excited to see this. I'm going to be tuning into IWTV. It's the Friday before Fastlane, so I'm not watching SmackDown probably. And I'm very interested to see how this goes.
Where can people find it? Where can I watch it?
It's independent wrestling TV, so you got to go to IWTV, sign up. It's going to be the cheapest pay-per-view ever. Like, you can just watch this event and it'll be $10 for you.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can unsubscribe. You can unsubscribe later, but you can find it. IWTV, I think, has a Roku app as well, so you can watch it on Roku. I'm a big Roku guy, I have
a Roku.
Yeah.
My brother's like, "What do you want for your birthday?" I was like, "Buy me a Roku."
Yeah,
like a Roku stick. He was like, "Why?" And I was like, I need Peacock. That was literally the reason.
Roku's amazing. I love Roku. I have a Roku TV, so it's great.
I mean, I have a Fire Stick, and my TV's a smart TV, so I have all the apps anyway. It's just Peacock isn't available on any of them.
Yeah, Peacock's on Roku. It's one of the first ones.
I need a Roku.
Yeah, I think it's on Xbox and all that stuff. But IWTV, they've been around, and IWTV just doesn't have Limitless Wrestling. They have a bunch of the bigger indies that aren't Evolve or anything that AEW is partnering with. Yeah. So they're pretty good. It's like IWTV and Fight TV is where you can find all your indie stuff. So we are Limitless. That's going to be happening in a month from now. And now let's move over to first off, match of the week. So Birthday Boy, you're up first. What is your match of the week?
Oh, it's MSK versus the grizzled young veterans. So there's two things I hate about this match, but everything else I love.
Mm-hmm.
I hate Wesley. I hate the name.
Yeah.
And I hate the fact that they call themselves young veterans.
They're grizzled young veterans, so they're not old, but they're not young.
But it's like that name is grammatically doesn't make sense. They're grizzled. I mean, grizzled, a great word. Grizzled,
yeah, grizzled's
phenomenal. Great. Young veterans. I mean, how old are they? What happens when they're 40? Like the Young Bucks. What happens when they turn? What happens when they enter their 40s? But not already 40.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, that's the match of the week. That match was phenomenal. Exceeded all expectations.
Look at this photo. This photo is fantastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. Yeah. My match of the week is the finger-breaking delight that was Pete Dunne and Finn Balor. They deserved the main event. They acted like it was the main event. It was fantastic overall. Only thing that really outshadowed it was, Adam Cole kicking people in the face.
That happened.
Yeah, but overall, unbelievable match. All right, King of the Night. Birthday boy, you're up again. Who do you got?
Finn Balor.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't blame you.
Nope. Yeah.
I don't blame
Yeah,
you.
I'll go to Finn Balor. If I didn't tell you who it was this morning, it would have been The Miz. But I told you who it was going to be, so you can make the graphic before I watched Raw.
Yeah.
So Finn Balor.
Yeah, good old Finn. This is going to shock you, Will. I'll tell you right now. And it's not because it's not just because it's your birthday. It's because I just thoroughly fucking enjoy him at this moment. And we're going to take this show to the moon, baby.
Oh, honey, you should have let me know beforehand, because I could have queued up the Love it.
Cameron fucking Grimes.
That motherfucker is so hairy.
It's gross. It's absolutely gross. But honestly, did you listen to his promo on NXT?
No, I did. I heard
you need to go back and listen to it. He pretty much says that he was home, he wasn't doing anything, but the one thing he enjoys is video games. And so he started playing a lot of video games, and his favorite store that he likes to go to is GameStop. So he started going to GameStop. He's like, wow, I really appreciate GameStop. I'm going to invest stock in GameStop. and then he blew up and became a millionaire. And then he's like, and then there's this new thing called Dogcoin. And I invested in that too. So his whole stick is that he just got lucky on the stock market. And now he's filthy rich.
Well, I got one thing to say to Cameron Grimes.
Nice one, my furry friend.
I love I have two sounders for Cameron Grimes.
Yes. This man, this is the Cameron Grimes that I enjoy. Like, he was just annoying, but now he has a backstory.
He's annoying with a purpose.
Yeah, he's annoying with a purpose. And it's fucking hysterical.
Love it.
Oh my god. He's so good. Like, I can't hate him now because I just think he's funny as fuck. Yeah. And that music video, amazing.
Oh, it was so amazing.
Absolutely. Like, I can't get. I hate to say because I was hating this man for months now, but his character's perfect now. It
was magnificent.
Yeah.
I told you guys that Cameron Grimes was going to be something, and it took a while for him to warm up. I know a lot of people don't like Cameron Grimes, but I was just like, I don't even know what it is I like about him. Mm. I just think he's just fantastic. Maybe it's because he took the spot of
who did he take?
The T-shirt Smiley, the Smile, Jordan Miles.
Jordan Miles, yes.
Yeah,
Jordan Miles.
Him. Maybe it's because of that whole debacle. Because after he got, because like they were there in that final tournament, whatever.
Yeah.
And that's where Jordan Cameron Grimes came from. And then after Jordan Miles, whatever the hell his name is, got booted, he became a star. And I was like, oh, I like you out of spite. That's what it is. I like Cameron Grimes out of spite.
Wow! Congratulations!
Congratulations, Cameron Grimes. That's why I like you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's all the news we're fitting to boot. We got to finish out the rest of your breath. You got a couple of hours left. So, any parting words you want to say before we kick this into high gear?
I got a shower. I'm stinky.
Yeah, you are. You're stinky, and you're a year older now. So, happy birthday to you.
Fiesta.
God, Jesus Christ. This is fucking amazing. We should have named this episode Dingo and the Baby.
I mean, they were booing Rey Mysterio. Who boos Rey Mysterio?
Not I, sir. Not I, sir. So, without further ado, folks, let's cue that music, Mr. Tarashok, Mr. Birthday Boy. Funeral music.
This might be his old music.
I think it is his old music. There it is.
Yeah, it is.
There it is. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been listening to Kings of the Rings podcast, episode number 235, Seeing Double. Because there's only two of us this week, I'm your host, King Ricky Rose. You can find me at Ambassador Biggs across all social media outlets. Kings of the Rings podcast, KOTR_podcast. Like, share, subscribe on Facebook, on Twitter, and Instagram. Listen to us each and every week on Wrestle Addict Radio. Find us wherever you listen to all of your favorite podcasts, and follow Wrestle Addict Radio at Addict_Wrestle on Twitter and Wrestle Addict Radio on Facebook and Instagram. Go check out our $5 Patreon. We got some merch on sale, and we also have a little bit of a blog site. All of our links are in the description below. Birthday Boy, take us home.
It's such a valid question. How can you boo Rey Mysterio? But to be fair, if I was in the building, I would have booed the shit out of him too. But I am Will Tarashuk. You can boo me on Instagram and Facebook, wherever you want. Boo me for my birthday. Send me a boo birthday. I don't give a fuck. Will Tarashuk, T as in Thomas, ARASHUK. I'm glad they changed Drew McIntyre's music, because this one is not as good as the one they have now is much better. A lot of bagpipes. But yeah, I'm gonna go celebrate the rest of my birthday. By hanging out.
Yeah, you're gonna go hang out. Yeah, Will's gonna go hang out. When we come back next week, we're gonna break down Elimination Chamber and probably get pissed off at some booking. AEW's gonna do something that's gonna make us probably discuss a lot of things, and everything else that might happen in wrestling, especially all the breaking news is gonna happen as soon as we finish recording this episode. And also, Kay will be back next week. So until then, folks, goodbye, good night. Happy birthday, Will, and somebody I'll never say happy birthday to is Slack. Fuck you, Slack. We'll see you next week.